Welcome to another show of Walk With Me. I'm Tyler Burgess in Eugene, Oregon, and today we are walking across France on the pilgrim path that goes to Santiago, Spain. People walk from their front door in medieval times, starting about 900, and they walk to Santiago, Spain as a pilgrimage. So people walk from Belgium, Czechoslovakia, Paris, Germany, and I'm connecting some of these routes. First, I need to pick up a pilgrim passport, and I stop in Lyon, France for the night to visit one of the cathedrals and get my credential or my passport. In Lyon at the cathedral is a huge mosaic of the pilgrims walking in Spain. You can see the stars. This is St. James, one of the first apostles of Jesus Christ. Above his head, St. James is holding the Bible. He has a staff for walking and the sign of the shell on his garment. My passport is in French, and here's the translation. Passport for pilgrims on the way of St. James to Santiago, Spain. Come follow me, says Jesus in Luke 18:22. The Way of St. James across northern Spain I did in 2008 to Finisterre and to Murcia, as well as taking groups. I have already walked from Munich, Germany to Switzerland, across Switzerland, and across northern Spain, and now I'm connecting those routes by walking across France this summer. Every day I stay in a pilgrim lodging and I get a stamp on my passport. It's important because only pilgrims stay in many of these lodgings. This is one of the many statues of St. James, the pilgrimage symbol on the way to Santiago. And in one of the villages, there's a picture of the way they used to harvest. I'm walking into the village of Conques. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you come out of the forest and it just appears in front of you, and as you can see, it's a fabulous old village. And this is the Abbey, and I got to stay in the Abbey. They have a special service every evening. I didn't go to that, I was too tired. This is one village where there are a lot of tourists. There was a dinner for the pilgrims in the Abbey, and the priest came in and had a few words to say to us in French, and then he sang this song, which is a medieval ode of joy, Altria. What was different about this lovely group of people and this wonderful place to stay was our host was Italian, and he made Italian food and made big bones about how it was much better than French food. Our dinner is always served at 7 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, 9:30, I'm always in bed, and we get up and have breakfast available at 7 o'clock, usually bread and jam, and maybe cheese and coffee and tea. And then I start walking by 7:30 every morning, and I walk most of the day. Sometimes just stop and have coffee and croissants with some of the other people in the village. This is a rabbit hutch. So if you wonder what kind of French fish they have, this shows you. If you can read French, but maybe you can just recognize the fish. And you can see they have a problem with invasive species here. I didn't see any fishermen this day. It's always fun to stop in the little churches along the way. You can see Adam and Eve here above the door of the church with the apple. I think this is another dovecote. They raise doves and they put them out in the field away from their main water supply so they wouldn't contaminate the water. And then there'd be some markets as you walk through some of these towns. It's the only sheep I've ever seen with these interesting black markings on their ears and around their eyes. Along the way, there's this beautiful and interesting shell arrangement. They're all different colors and kind of hanging from a tree branch. And they have a Facebook page. And all these shelters are numbered and marked as historic places for shepherds to take shelter. I spent a night in this fabulous city of Cahors. This is an ancient wine press at the base of the bridge. Right after the bridge are these really steep steps up a steep hill. And another statue of St. James as a pilgrim. People put little stones at the base because they've made a prayer here. At this small jeet, the woman had cooked a traditional dinner they have of chicken boiled in vinegar with oil and onions and parsley. It was so delicious. And this is a farm owner that's put out a table of hospitality with a lovely tablecloth and tea or coffee and fresh fruit from their garden. And who knew Lamborghini made a tractor? And along the way there are these information boards about the pilgrim path to Santiago with different maps, information about the town. It's the GR65 trail with the red and white markings. This is a field of millet. This is the view from my window in this lovely medieval town. This town was definitely one I thought I could come back and spend the summer lounging around. Here's a modern statue of a pilgrim. And this was a place where they put the oxen for the farrier to put the shoes on his feet. This is a very old and famous dovecote. And more fruit put out for pilgrims along the way. Most days I stayed at a jeet. We had a communal dinner that was home cooked, often with vegetables from their garden, and we got to visit with each other for the evening. This market is unusual in that it's round and it's very old. And you can see in this part of the structure the word is millet. They would have sold millet right here. And then there were stops along the way for croissant and a coffee. This is Veronica, a pilgrim I met along the way, who had walked here from Berlin, Germany. She'd also walked from Berlin, Germany to Jerusalem one time, 6,290 miles, and she's also walked from Berlin to Rome. She's called the super walking machine. Every one of these little churches or chapels would have a guest book, and we would go in and sign our name and where we were from, and then we could keep track and know if people were ahead of us or people were behind us, people we might have met and had dinner with or visited with along the trail. As you see, I love walking through the countryside, the little villages, seeing what's in the fields and taking pictures of the beautiful homes. This is the area of France that the Musketeers came from, and Alexander Dumas visited here, and he wrote the book The Three Musketeers. This is another home-cooked dinner. This is paella, made by our hostess and her husband. There were several of us here at this dinner, and we are walking among the vineyards of Armagnac, and they take the grape juice here and distill it, and it's called Armagnac. It's really strong. It's 40% alcohol. So we just have a tiny bit and go to bed. We're very near Spain now, and I'm starting to see bull rings in the little towns. They still have bullfights here, but they don't kill the bulls. I took a detour to see where they used to wash their clothes by hand. Here's a sign marking the Greenwich Meridian. I'm also walking through vineyards. So I see great processing plants and lots of vineyards. This show is my photos and my sketchbook diary of walking across France on the pilgrim path to Santiago, Spain. I still have many more miles to cover and more photos and pictures to show you, so please join me for my next show.